And here in our studio, we now welcome George Weinberg from Republicans Overseas here in Germany. Good morning, Mr. Weinberg. It's nice that you have come to us.
Morning. Morning. Thanks for invite.
You need to explain a bit to us now the role of US President Trump. So, we have often sat here and talked about in his start as US President, that he would get going. He is indeed getting started, but why is he putting the Europeans on the spot like this?
Well, I don't really think he's putting the Europeans on the spot. He has now sent the vice president here to Munich, and that was actually his main spokesperson regarding relations with Europe, the situation with Ukraine and in the world. And I have noted a few things. You know me, usually I always speak spontaneously, but since this is important here, I actually don't want to say anything wrong or spread any fake news. I've made a few notes on what Mr. Vance said, and ultimately he was the mouthpiece of President Trump, and he has 3-4 points. If you allow me, I would like to mention them. He pointed out that freedom of speech is in danger. This caused a great outcry in Europe, of course, because Europe is generally seen as free and democratic. What does Vance, but what he means, he is referring to these efforts, especially from Brussels, to censor social media. And this is a very sensitive point in America because, as you know, Trump was censored at the time by Facebook and Twitter. It went so far that his account was suspended. And we see now Zuckerberg was with Trump, apologized for this matter, and explained that at the time the FBI, and this was under President Biden, on Facebook, he appeared and made Facebook aware, please do not send this and that. These are fake news from Russia and this and that. And that was an intervention by the reigning president, the authority, the agencies, the security agencies, into free opinion. It was mainly about the laptop of Hunter, where it was always claimed that everything on the laptop is nonsense.
Hunter Biden, one might say, the son of the former US president.
Right, exactly. And now it turns out that was wrong. And Twitter is also now being sued. It no longer belongs to the old owners. Elon Musk bought it. It's called X. And there too, negotiations are taking place for damages for Trump, or mostly. This money doesn't go directly into his pocket, but rather to some charity organizations that receive this money. Even networks like NBC have already been sued because things were claimed there that aren't true. So this censorship issue is a very sensitive point in America, and perhaps it has been misunderstood in Germany why this criticism is so massive here through the White House.
But what is not understood, especially here in Germany, when you hear the news, is the freedom of speech. And you don't have all that in Europe. And at the same time, the news comes that the news agency AP is no longer allowed to join the White House press pool on Air Force One.
Also because they don't even want to use America's Gulf. You can hardly explain that contradiction.
Well, I can only say what are very charming. The spokesperson said an invitation to the White House is an invitation and not a right. That means, in the end, the inviter can also decide whom they want to invite. And AP has repeatedly reported things that did not exactly correspond to the truth. And now, indeed, the dispute is about naming Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America. It is, of course, an issue where there is a certain weakness, and they do have a point there that has been considered.
Yes. George, we thank you for the conversation, for these explanations.
And Then we'll see how things proceed with the 47th.
President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Thank you. I thank you.